brings Halloween. This is Hauntformer, and welcome to another movie, R.I.P. review. Today, we're going to be talking about the long-awaited review of the brand new horror movie from Sony, Slender Man. So, Slender Man is about Slender Man. And you probably heard a lot of reviews about this movie, mostly negative. It has like an 11% on Rotten Tomatoes, and today I want to talk about why I don't think it's warranted of that low of a ranking, but it's also not a good movie either. It's not bad, horrible, but it's also not good. It's kind of in this weird limbo in between. I went to see this movie with my friend Jared, who, don't worry, he will be in future reviews. Just hold on, we didn't get a chance to plan the full review today, and I wanted to get my thoughts to you guys. But Jared and I saw this, and when we sat down in the theater, we were kind of joking because, you know, the movie has bad reviews, and we were like, wouldn't it be funny if they just are kind of like, let's summon Slender Man, and that was the plot. And that was the plot. They just summoned Slender Man. Yeah, so the whole basis of this film is kind of dumb, okay? The main premise is there's four, I think high school, they seem younger, but let's just say high school. There's four high school girls, and, you know, they kind of like this group of guys, and the guys are gonna summon Slender Man for some reason. They chicken out of it anyways later on in the movie, but they decide they want to summon Slender Man for some reason. I don't know why. And they watch this creepy video. It's very reminiscent of The Ring. If you know anything about The Ring, it's the very same, like, style of that. And then they start getting, like, a Slender Man sickness, and they start to see him in shadows and in corners and in the woods. And then they start going missing or getting hypnotized, or all of this different stuff starts to happen to these four girls. And the way they go about it is just kind of dumb, in my opinion. There's a lot of stupid character decisions. There's one scene where this one girl is hypnotized and just kind of staring through a glass door in her house, and her friends see her doing this, and they're like, oh no, she's hypnotized, and it just cuts to them walking away like, oh well, like, it's just our friend, whatever. And there was also another scene where I'm pretty sure the filmmakers just wanted to have a scene in a library, because the girl is trying to do research on Slender Man for some reason, and winds up in a library, but who needs to go to a library when you have Google and everything like that? It didn't really make any sense on a you know, logical perspective. Besides, why are they summoning Slender Man?
Here is the last site she visited.
Slender Man. He preys on innocent youth.
What was that?
And I want to briefly talk about the whole Slender Man aspect of this film. In many ways, it kind of carried the movie. I personally am a big fan of the Slender Man character, but I feel like he's so outdated. I'm a horror guy, so of course I'm into Slender Man and stuff like that, but for the mainstream audience this movie was shooting for, I don't see the appeal of Slender Man anymore. He was a big deal back in 2009 with the archives that he was a part of. Victor Surge came up with the character for a Photoshop contest, and he evolved with the Slender Games, the 8 Pages and stuff like that, and Marble Hornets, which, by the way, I think is a more superior thing to watch than this movie. But, you know, that being said, that kind of lore was big back in the early 2010s, but now there's not really a point to have a Slender Man movie, so I feel like this movie is very outdated already. On top of that, you had the very tragic Slender Man stabbings, which was very, you know, sad and unfortunate for a lot of people, and it caused a lot of backlash for this movie. I don't think the movie was trying to tap into that stabbing in any way. There was a documentary on that stabbing, but I don't think that, you know, was any tie to the movie other than the Slender Man character, but it caused the filmmakers to delete many scenes that may have been offensive to some people who went through that tragic stabbing, and therefore lost a lot of the plot and story and characters along the way with this film. So it almost seems kind of incomplete, kind of like my review of The Snowman. But all that being said, I think the Slender Man character himself kind of saved this movie in a way, you know, at least causing people to come see it, you know, if it wasn't for Slender Man, it would kind of turn into another Bye Bye Man sort of deal, where no one really cared to see it because it had bad reviews and no one knew what the Bye Bye Man was. At least people knew what Slender Man was, but that being said, there's not too much that I can say for the character other than that he's mostly CGI. There's a lot of creepy visuals, and in fact, the visuals are probably my favorite part of this film. They kind of carry the story along without even dialogue to be said, which I think is nice. There's a good creepy atmosphere, but I do feel like the characters are lacking and the plot needs some more development to make it make sense. Why would they just randomly summon a character from a 2009 creepypasta? It's just very weird. But, you know, all of that being said, what can I say about Slender Man? Is it a bad film that you shouldn't see? No, I wouldn't say that. If you like the character of Slender Man, you may be interested. But this isn't a great film by any means. It's just kind of average in the middle. If you see it, cool. If you don't, you're not really missing out on too much. Actually, if you really want to see something that is well written and a very cool Slender Man story, just check out the Marble Hornets YouTube series. It's a much better time slot that you could use instead of watching this film. But all of that being said, Slender Man isn't bad, it isn't great, it's just kind of a CGI Slender Man chasing after 4 high school girls. Overall, I'm gonna give this movie a 3 out of 5 skulls on the R.I.P. Reviews rating scale. Again, like I said, if you've seen Slender Man, leave a comment below. Let me know, what did you think about this movie? Was it as horrible as everyone says it is? Or is it somewhere in the middle? Or did you actually like it? I don't know. Leave your thoughts below. And thank you for watching. Remember, as always, for all things Halloween, this is Hauntformer.